Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Don Fenton, the host of The Power of a Hobby. I'm overjoyed to be joined tonight by a good friend of mine, James Fairchild. Hi James, how are you?
Hello, Dom. All good, thanks, mate. All good yourself?
Yeah, very, very good, thank you. And hopefully we might be able to get out a bit more after
Mate,
today's news.
100%. 19th of July, I'm on it.
Well, hopefully people might start guessing when this was recorded. You never know. I like to keep people teasing a little bit. So
Definitely.
we've had a brief chat before we started to record. So, James, the first question. What does the power of a hobby mean to you?
The power of a hobby means to me a bit of me time, I suppose. A bit of me time, finding something that makes you happy, something that kind of you don't see it as a chore. So a power of a hobby for me is something I do for me, but it's not kind of a, oh God, let's do it. It's I want to do it, and it's what kind of makes me happy, I suppose.
Yeah, no, and I think that's the really important thing, and it's been a theme on the episode so far.
Yeah,
But actually, it is about something that you have fun doing, you enjoy, you have passion for. Because if you didn't have those elements, you probably wouldn't do it.
no, I think if it becomes a chore, or, a bit like some people's jobs, it's kind of you give up your time for money. But if you don't enjoy the job, you're doing it kind of because you have to do it, and it's not enjoyable, is it? Your life's too short, I think, to live your life like that. But I did find that out the hard way.
Yeah, and knowing your hobby, and knowing your journey, we may dip into a little bit of that tonight because
Yep.
actually, what I honestly think that there will be so many things in this that, especially at the moment,
Yeah.
especially given the current situation that people are in, that I think actually people will find this really useful tonight. So
Good.
that's part of the reason we try to get you on for now, because I just
Awesome.
think, it's one of them.
Yeah.
So, James, what is your hobby?
My hobby is I'm a personal trainer first of all, but that was all through my love of the gym. So my hobby is actually going to the gym. I've always been a bit of a gym goer, but in 2018 it kind of made, I was in a bit of a bad place 2018, and the gym really did become a hobby and my kind of me time. So my hobby is the gym, which is also pretty much my job now as a personal trainer.
And I think that's a really interesting bit now, and we'll obviously we'll dip into that. So 2018, not a place you wanted to be.
No, definitely not.
How how did you find the gym? Was it, you said you've always been involved in exercise, and was there other stuff that you did before that? Was there other activities that you did? How did you then take that step into the gym and go, actually, this is what I need to be doing?
So I've always sort of played rugby, football, tennis, any sport really, badminton even. But it was only when I was going to the gym 4 or 5 times a week, but I was still eating pizza, still eating burgers, drinking 4 or 5 times a week. Yeah, when I learned you can't out train a bad diet, so I'm going to the gym 5 or 6 times a week, but I'm not eating the right foods, and I just completely bloated up, and it was kind of I suppose comfort eating really, because I wasn't happy in the job I was in. And then I basically took part in a fitness program. I lost 2.5 stone in 12 weeks, and it was like that feeling I got of losing that weight and that everyone going, "My God, you look amazing." I will never ever forget to this day. And I thought, you know what? If I can do this as a job, make people feel the way I felt, what a job, best job in the world. And it's still to this day, it really is. So it was kind of the making me really, and that's when I realised that the gym, the power of exercise really, and
I think it's that, and I think it's, as you said, it's we have those situations where we talk about it's not a chore, and we, as much as you're going to the gym 4 or 5 times a week? You say?
Yeah,
About 4
definitely,
that time.
definitely, yeah. Sometimes more, yeah.
You know, I think it, when you do it that much, it can't become a chore.
No,
You
no,
know, and
yeah,
it becomes a lifestyle, and it becomes that. So obviously you joined a fitness program. What
yeah.
made you join that? Was it just the fact you weren't, just lots of things that you just weren't happy with, and you just decided, actually, let's just give it a go?
But it was my mental state, to be honest. Yeah, I got to a point where I was so unhappy in the job I worked in, which caused me to drink heavily, and then linked that to depression. And it was like, I need help. I saw an advert. It was never my intention to go, oh, do you know what? I'll take part in a fitness program. But a gym that my brother goes to come up with this competition, and it was there was money involved. Not gonna lie, which is always nice. When you know you can win some money, it's always a bit of an incentive. So really, for me, it's my own mental state, and for me to look in the mirror and go, I don't like the way I look, which I was looking in the mirror and thinking that. So really, it was to kind of look, let's get back to where I used to be. I used to be a real fit, young, happy lad, especially when I played rugby, and I used to play rugby yourself. But I lost myself for a good 3-4 years, just because the job I was in, which I won't go into in detail, but the job I was in, I still am in on a part-time basis. Yeah, and that scared me. Being that unhappy for the next 30 years of my life terrified me. And it was at that point I thought, I've got to do something about this.
So you joined the program.
Joined the program. It was involved going to the gym 4 times a week. The gym I went to, which was Ballantyne's, literally had everything up there I needed. And I was up there at 6 o'clock most mornings, sometimes lunchtime after the school run. And yeah, so basically followed that program for 12 weeks, lost 2.5 stone, because it was kind of a nutrition plan as well. And then ended up winning £1,000, which was lovely. And I invested, true story, I invested that £1,000 in the equipment I've still got in my own gym to this day. So it was all invested back into myself and my business. And and ever since then, I've just continued to grow, and now I've gone part-time in that job I disliked and still do dislike. But my life now is a lot more bearable.
Well, yeah, we chat a fair bit, and so I know a fair bit of this.
Yeah.
But I still get goosebumps hearing things like this.
Yeah.
Because I think, and obviously, my journey, and again, there's been similar bits, not exactly the same, but there's been similar things. And when you get to an unhappy place, it's not great.
No, it's not, and no, it's really not. And so I know, I know your story, and so we've been in constant contact, and always will be. And I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back to that place. But it's really weird. So you tell people that actually it's kind of made me get to where I am today, which is strange. I still can't quite grasp the fact that the worst time of my life has kind of turned me round to where I am now. It is weird. It is strange, but I don't want to go back there, and I haven't gone back there. Touch wood yet. So,
and touch wood, you won't. There's
no.
your mindset's massively different.
Yeah.
Your whole persona is massively different to where you were. And I think, unfortunately, we as humans, and I think sometimes it takes us hitting the bottom before we go, things need to change.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so low. There's only so low you can get, and I know people that have gone, too far. So there's low, and there's people doing, and that did cross my mind. It did, and that's when I realised. But there's so much help out there. I used a charity called Mind, which I've got a T-shirt on now, actually.
Yeah.
I had counselling, and still continue to have counselling. But yeah, I think it's just talking. I think, and then speaking to, and you don't realise when you open up how many other people actually go, do you know what? There was this one time when that happened to me, but I didn't tell anyone. So many people open up and say, and that kind of is a big release off your shoulders because you realise you're not alone.
Yeah, and I think that's, I think that's the biggest thing for me, is actually going, it's been the last 6 weeks. Yes, it's been tough, but it's I've actually realised how many people are around.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the amount of people that have reached out, and the amount of people that have gone, look. And because of some of the work that I do within my businesses as well, people just expect you to be strong and yeah, you can deal with it. And actually, it's, for me, I opened up to a couple of networks that I'm part of, just because I was like, you know what, I need to be authentic.
Yeah. 100%.
I talk about people being authentic and being real and just being vulnerable where
Yeah.
they need to be, not
Yeah.
to the point of feeling uncomfortable, and not force them to be vulnerable. But if you want to be vulnerable, there's nothing ashamed in
No.
that.
No.
And yeah, it's amazing how many people have reached out, and yeah,
Yeah.
you suddenly become grateful for those things.
You really do. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I've been sort of on the other foot as well, where I've been in a WhatsApp group. Someone's put a video or story on there that's completely appropriate. You sort of said, mate, don't share that. And this, again, true story. It's happened to me. I've probably got 4 or 5 friends over it, but I said, mate, I think you're out of order. Don't. And I basically got ridiculed.
Yeah.
And you know what? I still haven't spoken to any of them. It's been over a year now. I didn't name and shame any of them, because that doesn't achieve anything, but they know who they are. And I've got so many messages from people going, oh, was it so-and-so? Just people kind of knew the people I was kind of involved with everything. Saying it's having the courage to do that as well. And 9 times out of 10, you know, your true mates and the real people that know you will actually go, do you know what, you was right. I thought the same, but I didn't want to say anything. And it's not right. People sharing videos of people in discomfort or killing. It's just, I just don't. I thought I knew these people, and I obviously didn't. But so you do. It shows you who is there really, who is there in the time of need. But it also shows you kind of that some people really do not get it when you're triggered. And that's quite a scary thought, really.
And it's, I think, it's around educating, it's around supporting, and I'm no expert, and I've never claimed to be an expert, but I'm always there if people need to talk. And if someone wants to open up, or if I notice something, then I'll reach out behind the scenes, and just to let people know they're not alone, because I've got no doubt everyone has felt alone at some point.
Massively. And again, I think, I've been there, you've been there, I still am there some days. And I think it's just sharing. When you tell people what you do to cope or who you speak to, they may get in touch with the same people, and just hearing your story makes them realise that actually they thought you was the happiest bloke ever, but actually you're not. You're behind the scenes, you're an absolute crumbling mess. And I think for them, no, I'm not an expert, no one's an expert, but it's just sharing your experiences, make people realise. And what you do, what your hobby is, going back to the power of a hobby, is could help someone else. I used to do that. I used to love going out on my bike. Why don't you get a bike and come out of us then? And then bang, all of a sudden, the world's lit up again, sort of thing.
And this is why we do this. This is, and I just think it is about sharing, being open, because you never know who's going to listen to it.
No, exactly.
You never know who's going to hear it. You never know who at that one moment is going to need to hear what you've said.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, exactly. And I think that's it's back to that kind of cliche. But if there was one person, then that's better than, just one person. I didn't realise that he was the happiest bloke I ever met, but I didn't know he's that. So I'm not sure. I was ashamed of it. I'm not gonna lie, I was ashamed of it. I was ashamed of myself, but you come to realise that it's nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah.
But I felt weak. I felt pathetic. But actually, when you kind of speak to people and counsellors, and you realise that actually you're actually the strong one to come out, because there's people that didn't come out and have done the ultimate deed, and which I could never understand. I couldn't before I got to the point. I could never understand it. How the hell would you do that? But I get it. I really do get it.
Yeah.
I understand why you could do it.
It's one of them, isn't it? I think
it is.
Yeah. So, in terms of, obviously, you found the gym. How long have you been training clients?
So I qualified in 2018. So I said I was still full-time in my other job. So I was doing it on the side originally. I then went part-time in my other job. So since 2019, I've been training clients for 7 days a week, but 5 full days. I got a job in a gym in Colchester, which I left in December, handed my notice in December, to go out literally fully on my own. But yeah, which is a scary thought, but I've done it. And that touch wood at the moment, I'm doing okay.
And I'm proud of you, mate. And I am proud of you, because I think it's a massive step going alone.
Yeah, it scares the life out of me. I've always been employed, so for me it was like, yeah. And I was even employed at the gym I worked at. So, but you know, and they were absolutely amazing to me. They really were. Best bunch of people I know. Your Zone 45 Colchester is the gym. So if anyone lives in Colchester listening to this, Colchester. It's seriously what an amazing gym and amazing bunch of people. So yeah, I purely left just to grow my own business. That's the only reason.
So you've got your own business. You work part-time. Yeah. You've got your own business as well. Where do you see your business in 5 years? Where do you see yourself? It's almost turned into a business coaching podcast.
Yeah, business. Yeah, it's a tough question. I mean, where do I see myself in 5 years? Hopefully content.
Yeah.
Happy as I am now, in a good place mentally. As a business, I don't know the answer to that question. I'll be honest, I don't. My dream would be I've got my garage and my gym, but my dream would be to have my own gym where people come, pay membership. Is that possible in 5 years? I don't know. But listen, you've got a dream. You've got a dream, right? So 5 years time, there might be, yeah, a gym with my name above it. You never know. That is probably the ultimate goal. Yeah.
And I just think, why not dream?
You got a dream, yeah.
Why not? And the thing is, I see so many people who go, yeah, we want to get to there. Well, why not reach to there?
Yeah.
Let's actually go for that.
Yeah. Because in my head, I don't think it's completely. If I said I want to be a professional footballer, that's not realistic. I'm 33 years old. But I don't think what I'm saying is unrealistic. It might be highly unlikely, but it doesn't mean it's not likely.
See, we've now got all these quotes coming out as well.
Positive thoughts only, positive vibes. But this wasn't me 3 years ago. So yeah.
Well, let's embrace that. As you say, very, very different place now to what you were, and I love seeing that. So obviously you've gone from a hobby to a business.
Yeah.
Has that changed how you've seen your hobby? Because they are one and the same thing.
I'll get you. Yeah.
But because obviously we go there, we go to a hobby for us because it's something that's fun and it's engaging and we make friends and we do all these other things, you know, and if it wasn't for rugby, we wouldn't have met.
No, exactly.
And this is the whole thing about what I try and tell people. You know, being a coach coming up to me at 5 years old and going, wait, you come and play, has enabled so much for me.
Yeah.
That one little that one short conversation.
Yeah.
Me taking part has just, it changed my life.
Matt, yeah.
You know, and I just think, so, so in terms of how you now see your hobby, has that process changed? Or do you still do that for your time? Do you have your own training session where it's just you and you do that for you and then switch that mode for your clients?
Massively. I mean, you can't underestimate. This is something, and again, some people think it's selfish, but it's really, really not. But you can't underestimate the power of a bit of you time, me time. You're only asking for an hour and a half down the gym, and that is, I do that, or I go out on my road bike. I've got a cycle as well, so I'll go out on that. I started playing rugby again last year as well, so it's all a bit of me time. Just some people, at me time, beasting yourself. I love a beasting. I love a beasting. I'm not going to lie. Literally, I come out of the gym, I'm dead. I love it. So yeah, no, definitely, it definitely hasn't changed my love for the gym. But my hobby now being my main job is the best feeling in the world. Cheesy, I know, but it's true. It really is.
Well, you can impact you can impact more people, can't you?
Massively. And again, just, people, again, only a PT would say it really, but seeing people dying and suffering while you're training them, I shouldn't laugh, but I do. But then you see them off. But listen, we've all been there. I've been, you, as you know, pre-season rugby. Oh, it was disgusting. Just you didn't want to be there. But picking them people up after, and when they lose that 2 stone or 1 stone or get to their goal, what a feeling. And you go to them, do you remember that day you said you couldn't do it? Or do you remember that day you was outside throwing up? Oh yeah, I remember that day. It's just,
I'm not going to forget it. I'm not going to. It's that moment.
Pre-season, literally, as soon as I turn up to rugby, I had nerves and butterflies. I used to hate it. And pre-season started already up at Braintree, so I've got to get my ass back up there now. I'm putting it off. I don't want to do it. So, but yeah, no, it definitely hasn't changed. My hobby's still gym, going out on my bike, and hopefully getting back to rugby as well.
Nice.
But yeah, all kind of sports related, fitness related kind of stuff.
Yeah, and that's I've had really different people on, and yes, I could have interviewed myself.
yeah.
But I'd rather have a chat to other people. It's more fun.
Yeah. No, I think it's, and even simple things like in March, I set myself a challenge in March of doing 10,000 steps a day. And it was, again, realistic, but I actually really enjoyed it. Just, I wasn't saying I'm going to run 10 miles a day. Just not realistic. Some people it is, but not for me. But it's just nice. Put a podcast on, listen to some music, or just walk. So that was quite good. So it doesn't have to be beasting, which I do love a beasting, as I said. But sometimes a walk is good enough. And I try telling this to the rugby coaches, can we just walk for a couple of hours? Why do you have to be promoted? But it hasn't worked yet.
And what they'll do, they'll beast you for another extra half an hour for asking.
I've been asking for 25 years and I'm still here, still running 8 laps to the pitch, flipping the tyres and fireman carries. Not good.
Yeah. Will it ever change? Yeah, probably
100% not. Not for me anyway.
Yeah, probably not. I think we've seen too much of that, to be fair.
Yeah. No, not good.
So, last question.
Yeah.
So, if someone came up to you, a friend, we talk about hobbies. Someone comes up to you and goes, James, I really haven't got a hobby. I'd like to find a hobby, but I just haven't got one. What would you say to them?
Is there anything like, it can be something as simple as reading, walking. Is there anything they enjoy doing, first of all? Because find something you enjoy. If you go, I'll go gym, but I just don't want to go. I'll get out of bed in the morning. I see it as a chore. But maybe the gym isn't for you then, maybe. Or it's just changing your mindset. But for me, start off small, walking, set yourself a walk goal, anything. Reading, say reading's a hobby. Do you want to study, studying something? Well, I've always wanted to do this. If it's realistic, let's say if you want to be a doctor, you might have to sort of look, well, is 7 years of studying realistic? Probably not. Maybe it is. Start off small. Find something you like. Speak to friends. See what they do. I've never tried that. Try it. Give it a go.
Yeah, I just think it's really important that we do talk to other people.
Massively.
And just think about what we did as a child. Think about what we enjoy, what we're passionate about. Because once you've got them, you'll find your hobby.
I mean, I sound like an old man. I'm 33, but you think when I was a child, we didn't have no social media. It was like MSN Messenger. We had no Facebook, no Instagram. What a better world the place was. It really was. And it's mad, isn't it?
It is crazy, and I think it's just one of those. There is a hobby for everyone.
100%.
It's just a case of finding out what it is.
Yeah, 110%. But find something that you don't see as a chore. Is my that'd be my golden rule. Find something you enjoy rather than seeing it as kind of a punishment for yourself, you know?
Yeah, no, massive.
Oh,
James, thank you very much for coming on the podcast.
Mate, thank you so much for having me.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you everyone for tuning in and listening. I'm Dom Fenton. This is the Power of a Hobby, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.